The Flight Centre Travel Group had to pull its Black Friday specials at the last minute last week when the United Kingdom and other countries placed South Africa in the region, other countries in the region as well, on its UK travel red list. So in just 2 days, the local travel and tourism industry losing over R1 billion in bookings planned between December and March. With travel plans in the air, Flight Centre is now focusing on assisting clients that have been affected by the travel ban. In fact, Flight Centre Group Customer Experience Director, that's Kim Taylor. She's in Gqerberha and joins us via our video link this morning. Kim, a very good morning to you indeed. And you and others in your sector must still be reeling from those travel bans that were instituted just about a week ago.
Yes, absolutely. So good morning to everyone. I think we were geared up for, as you said, a big Black Friday. We've been doing pre-release deals. All our teams were geared up to sell travel on Friday. That's what we do best. And within a morning, it went to pivoting our business from selling to supporting our customers in rebooking and obviously reaccommodation policies. So yes, it's been a very busy weekend for us, supporting our customers and obviously ensuring that they get to where they need to be as quickly as possible.
So Kim, take us through some of the numbers, because on the one hand, there's the issue around people who had already booked for the end of year period, and then there's the money that would have been lost through Black Friday specials. Are those two separate things that you're looking at?
Yes, so I think, Black Friday for us, as you would know, over the past few months and certainly the last few weeks, especially with the UK, we were taken off the red list. I think it was nearly about 3 to 4 weeks ago, which was great news for us. We had an influx of bookings after that announcement. Customers could be reunited with families for the November-December period, which is traditionally a big holiday period for us. It's a peak season travel period traditionally for us. So certainly we were obviously counting on Black Friday to obviously add to the bottom line. Travel has been severely impacted. It's no secret. And yes, certainly that will be a knock for us. In terms of bookings, though, customers obviously, can't go to many destinations. It's not known how long that will go on for. Many different sort of time frames are being communicated by suppliers, some into December, some kind of adopting let's wait and see what the week holds for us, some communicating into January. So those goalposts are being moved. So I think for customers, we've had a few people wanting to be reaccommodated where they really can't fly at the moment. But I think certainly for some bookings in December and January, many customers are adopting a wait and see approach. And I do think this week will be the telling tale for us, as obviously a lot more research is done onto the variant, and other countries then make decisions based on that. So we are seeing cancellations for immediate travel because obviously customers can't get out. But for bookings, I would say into December and January, where there hasn't been a reaccommodation policy communicated, a lot of customers are adopting a wait and see approach. So I think it's still early to kind of tell in terms of the numbers, but certainly urgent travel is what we're focusing on right now.
And when you say reaccommodation plan, Kim, what do you mean by that?
So suppliers, the airlines or land suppliers, inclusive of hotels, they will have a reaccommodation policy in place. So they will basically say you can cancel your booking. What we'll do is waive a cancellation penalty, which is most of the time the case, and then you can offer a refund, or you can change your dates to a later date, whether it be in 2022, and we will waive the change penalty. And if a difference in fee and taxes applies, we will then obviously apply that to any new quotes that we do. So that's a reaccommodation policy, which plays a vital role in our business, because obviously we need to support our customers with options. And that's what our teams have been doing since Friday, is presenting all the available options to our customers, obviously empowering them to make a choice or informed choice around their travel.
I mean, it also means that, refunds, with the reaccommodation policy, you're trying to keep the money that's been invested in the holiday plans already, as opposed to refunds.
100%. Not only from a business perspective, from a customer perspective. I think there's a lot of pent-up demand. If you think this time last year, customers couldn't really travel. We were quite restricted in terms of where we could go. So we've seen a lot of pent-up demand, and over the past few weeks before this announcement and all this came through, it was very much that, that demand was visible in terms of inquiry coming through to the business. We've gone through a massive campaign in terms of recruiting, just because, we were dealing with volumes of inquiries. So there's definitely a pent-up demand. And I think customers still want to have that holiday. And that's why I say I think it's still early to tell in terms of the numbers. A lot of customers where their travel hasn't been affected right now, and they have a departure later in December or certainly January, and there's not a reaccommodation policy in place. They're saying, look, let's wait and see what happens. And as things become clearer, we'll make decisions there, because they really do want to go on holiday. I think they're itching to go. So I think that will really be the telling tale for a lot of people.
Are you finding that you are a bit in limbo as a business? Because, people may have made all sorts of plans to try and see family at a particular time of the year. Others might be traveling because of illness due to COVID-19, loved ones who are far away, perhaps in another country. Do you find yourself in limbo as people try to figure out what to do next in light of these travel bans?
Yeah, so I think what's confusing at the moment is the time frames and the deadlines that are communicated, and we know that's a moving target. So I think suppliers over the weekend were also trying to figure out what they needed to do. So we were communicating a certain date, and that might have changed within the space of a day or two. So I think our key role, and it's something we've done before during COVID, our teams pivoted very, very quickly. We're very proud of them. They went from selling travel to supporting customers, and I think this is where we attract the value in a travel expert is key. We're not here only to kind of help you with your reaccommodation policy. We make sense of policies for our customers, make it easy for them to understand, and ensure that they're empowered in making those decisions and dealing with the disappointed. Obviously, there is a lot of disappointment, like you've pointed out. A lot of family reunions were taking place. I think the UK is a key market for us from an outbound travel perspective, and obviously major disappointment in terms of families not being able to be reunited, or even customers just going on that long-awaited holiday. So I think, yes, it is a bit of limbo at the moment, and I think that's where we play a key role in demystifying policies for our customers, making it easy for them to understand, and also just supporting them in whatever they need at this time.
That reaccommodation policy that you talked about earlier, Kim, insofar as your industry is concerned, one thing that might sort of count against you is the issue around the quarantine policies of different countries. The cost of the trip for people who are booking with you and other agencies is one thing, but there's a massive cost involved if you do decide to go ahead with the trip and need to quarantine in the other country.
Yes, certainly. So we saw, obviously with the UK, they have their quarantine hotels up and running again. Unfortunately, it's only for nationals and citizens that can now travel. You'll see that a few key airlines flying into the UK have resumed operations from today. Again, even nationals and residents that are flying over will need to enter a quarantine facility. If it does eventually open up to us with quarantine, that is an additional cost, and not everyone can afford. And I think with travel at the moment, there are other additional costs when you're traveling. Even before this announcement, I've just come back personally from a trip. There's PCR tests that you now need to get before travel, and obviously returning to South Africa. So travel has become somewhat more costly in terms of international travel. So I think we just need to kind of see how this all plays out, and customers need to make that decision for themselves. If it's not something they can do in terms of going into quarantine from a time constraint perspective and also from a cost perspective, that's where we help them just kind of figure that out. And even when we kind of were less restricted a few weeks ago, customers might have pivoted destinations. You might have said, it no longer makes sense to go to this destination with the certain restrictions in place, but can we look at this destination? And that's where we, again, play a key role. Our job is to open up the world for customers to see and support them, and that's what we do.
Kim Taylor, let me thank you for your time this morning on the AM Report. She's a Flight Centre's Customer Experience Director, as we take a look at the massive cost to the industry in light of the restrictions in response to the Omicron variant.